parties at this point. I don't know anymore. I want to talk, and I feel like we might get to a point again today where we come across an understanding, and I feel like right after that, I don't know what's going to happen, and that freaks me out every time. Now, like, what just happened between me and Shamar, just, like, that was like...
Wait, what?
No, I'm saying all that with Shamar. The fact that I was in here with him, third party and everything else, and I still went sideways. So that's why I said,
well,
I don't know
because
if third party is helpful or not. I'm trying to ask you, what would you prefer at this point? Because I know what I would prefer, but it doesn't even matter what I prefer.
It's
No, I'm saying it doesn't. Because, let me, you want to turn this back?
No, sorry. No.
Okay, that's what I would prefer. But if you don't think we need that, okay.
Daddy, can you please help me?
Why are you just eating bread?
I'm not eating bread. I'm eating Lunchables.
Oh.
Lunchables.
Oh, what's going this?
Mom, what kind of Lunchables are those?
It's a sub.
A sub. A sub. A
Alright,
sub.
go get yourself lunch, bro.
I got some monster daddy.
Bye.
Tell Dakota I said what's up.
Alright. I will.
Bye, guys.
Alright, bye. Bye, Kaden. See you later, girlfriend. Alright, ready? Did you bring anything in?
So, that's why I told me sent you a text. Well, what's your opinion on that? Jada, did you lock the door? Did you lock the door? My girl. Jada, come here. Please. I can tell. Go ahead, we'll try it again later. When I'm done talking, I'll come and we'll try it again. We'll try it again some more time.
Hey, neighbor. Hey, Goldie.
Okay, so what's that?
About what part? What do you mean?
I sent you the text. Oh.
You mean kinda?
Well, I had to send it through Zaquan, so I sent you the text. I said kind of, because I had to go through Zaquan to get it to you. Okay, I was talking. I won't do that before I respond, so I don't irresponsibly respond. I'd like to ask that we stop for a second. I feel like there seems to be some tick-for-tack type stuff going on because of lack of communication again, like before. That is not my intention. I'm not trying to hurt you. I would like to have a conversation. Matt and I have been talking. I think we figured out something. Our entire foundation of our relationship was based on our Christian faith, and we got away from that. How do you feel about that part? Accurate? I mean, it's kind of obvious.
You have to describe what you mean by that.
What? I was trying to break down parts.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
What? Like our Christian faith and stuff?
Yeah.
Well, think about it. What was the first thing we tell everybody? Where'd you guys meet? Bible camp. Where we go? Harding University. So for things of that nature, like, and don't forget, everything before that, we were big in the church. So when we had, in a sense, a guide, and we kind of knew which direction we were following, kind of things like that. I think when we got away from that, I do think we started depending a lot, in a sense, like I said, like on Googles and other things.
On
like
what?
like on, like I'm saying, we spent the time, like, we have to kind of figure things out, in a sense. We always kind of figure it out on our own, but it's like we didn't have, like, in a sense, like a guideline. So then, maybe with us getting away from that and, like, certain, I guess, like, supporting, I want to say people roll a cast. But I think, like, with the people that we...
I mean, I think faith in the people there is a little...
Jaden, not right now. I am talking.
Jaden, you just had a lot of time with Taryn, with Goldie. Go sit down and chill out for a little bit.
You still shouldn't see me, though. So,
I'm not saying that.
I know.
I'm just...
That's all good. Alright, go. 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 But no, I'm not saying that. But I'm saying it's based on the fact matter is though we were surrounded by that. That's what I mean though. It's like that's what it was for us. We had a community of people and everything else along with it. So I'm not just saying faith and people are the same thing, not at all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying we started with a community of people, ideologies, and all this other stuff that we had, and we got away from that slowly. And like I said, all this stuff just kind of sort of happened. So slowly we did get away from that. We stopped going to church. We kind of had our issues with people we felt like in the church and stuff like that. So with that, we got away from it. We distanced ourselves. And I was saying, the fact of the matter is that might be one of the pieces that I'm saying, because that's one thing through all this stuff we've never even brought up, is the fact that, have we thought about the fact that maybe going back to church would seriously help? Do we think that possibly, like I said, like, each of it, like, just really take our time and, like, slowly, like I said, it's not what I'm trying to say, like, Taylor, in order for us to say this, we gotta go to church tomorrow. We have to. And we gotta keep going to church or else. I'm not saying that because I'm not gonna force you to do anything. What I'm saying is,
And I told you I had no problem if you guys wanted to go to Journey or even Concord. I just wasn't sure about myself yet.
I'm not. What? What do you mean?
Like
well,
across
of course,
the...
Jaden still goes to Concord. I've gone to Concord a few times since you have not been there. Well, the whole reason I haven't stopped going to Concord, though, is because going there without you was already kind of weird. And then when I come back, and it was always...
I mean, we're not talking about Concord specifically, right? Because that's not...
No, not... I guess not. I mean, I would, honestly.
I was double checking, because that's not...
If you... No, I mean...
Like, the best place for me.
Unless you could find another Church of Christ, I guess.
Why does it have to be a Church of Christ?
That's just kind of where I'm at.
Oh.
And that's just...
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
For me, but I mean, for you, like I said...
Because you were the one who took her across the street. That's interesting.
Because that was just something to go to when we're going to Concord.
Oh.
And I did want to give her a chance to experience something different, and just at least get a chance to get in there and try to, like, worship or something like that, see if she actually liked something different, which she did seem she like kind of cool with it. But like I said, I'm not picking and choosing. I went to New Venture Church for a while. I got a Church of Christ for a while, but I kept going back and stuff like that. And like I said, it's not about you having to go to Church of Christ. I don't care which one you go to.
I mean, church general.
But church. But I just figured, with that being a big part of our life that we kind of escaped, not escaped from, but we kind of moved from. That maybe, in a sense, like, regardless if we take time, like, I really feel like if we take time for ourselves to talk to whoever we need to talk to do whatever we need to do, in a sense, and then within that, like, kind of all, like, slowly getting back to what the foundation of this relationship really was based off of, and it's not based off of, but where a relationship really did start from, which was, like I said, it was that.
I guess I just see that as... I'm not saying there weren't dope places, but like places that we were where we met and places that we ended up going to college. Not necessarily as like, because we met at a Bible camp.
That wasn't
in it. Oh, okay.
That wasn't the point.
Okay. Because I thought you started off. That's what I thought you...
I did start off with. But I'm saying that's not the point. But I'm saying, that's what I said we started off with a community, though. That's what I said. If you ask about the places we started Bible camp, I'm saying is, I'm not saying because of the places.
Oh, so I'm saying like, so
yeah, no, I don't care about
community in general, not just church.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I say faith. I'm not trying to compare faith and people. Stuff like you said something about faith and people are different. I'm not going to try to compare faith and people. What I'm saying is, that we were strong in faith at one point. That's what I'm saying. We were there. You can't say we weren't. Whether we got away from it or not, like, we were there.
I mean, I think
that's so I said following the, like, because, like,
what do you mean we were there? I guess I'm a little confused because
in our faith, Jayla, you were the most talked about girl at Bible camp. You know.
But we've talked about this since that, and I told you that a lot of that stuff, like, I did not really completely feel. And we've talked a lot about how I told you how I didn't even like the public perception of like having Christ like that with me, and about me feeling more like spirituality.
Okay.
That's what confuses me a little bit. is that we've talked about that.
I guess it's being
about how I told you how.
Everyone now, and obviously the scenarios are way different from us just talking about it and trying to discuss. Versus, like I said, obviously, our marriage is where it is right now. So there's a different conversation, there's a different connotation, there's a different tone I'm taking with this now. It is different because, like I said, when it came to this so far, it's something we haven't talked about.
What?
Like the spiritual part of it all. Like,
and I'm Jay. All I'm saying to you is that I didn't know that was a component. And like you said, we're just talking about it now, and I'm saying I didn't know that was a component.
For me, that's why I said in the text messages, like I didn't even think about it until Matt. And I was sitting there talking. And this wasn't like an overnight thing. Obviously, as you know, I've been gone for like a month now, so it's like I've continuously been. These are continuous conversations I'm having. Continuous.
I don't know anything that's going on. I'm like literally left in the dark a little bit for a lot of stuff. Which is also
why I said the communication is probably why everything seems so tick for tack when it does not need to be. Therefore, like the whole thing with when the whole thing first happened, that was lack of communication. You don't know, yo, Jay, you just took off. And I said, okay, you're right. I was wrong in that. I said I was wrong in that. Do you remember that?
Yeah, you have. I'm not sure if you fully acknowledge what really happened when you left.
I don't think that's it. That's not what I'm talking about. See,
because I think you came here, you saw like the house clean and like Rachel here and Shamar here.
No, I wasn't thinking about it. Why not tell you?
I'm not saying if you're. I don't know if you're thinking. I'm telling you from my perspective. I guess what I'm thinking of it.
What? What is that?
So I was just telling you from my perspective, like.
No, I got you, but I was just saying because
I don't know what you're sincerely taking in or not necessarily.
Well, all that stuff we kind of already talked about. That's why I just said like from the beginning. I feel like I had to go back and reiterate. We've talked about all this stuff already. I told you I understood what I did, and that's what I mean. And
okay,
we're gonna get out the other day when you said I barely take accountability. That's offensive as hell to me because
I was talking about
I've been doing this.
Not about how the situation played out, about beforehand, about like not like talking about certain stuff, about just like a lot of the stuff you said. It was mean. That's what I was saying, Jay.
No, you wasn't. I said,
Jay, that's what I was saying. That's why I was like barely.
You said barely, and I was like,
Jaden, yes.
Daddy, where were you?
What? I'll tell you a little bit. We'll talk. All right. All right.
But I'm not trying to go back in.
Sure. So either way, all that stuff being said, I mean, I just said that's what I said. Text. I know where I'm at. I thought you was.
He's always what?
I guess, but
He's always what?
What? I thought you had time to read it. I guess not.
No, I did read it. No, I did read it. No, I'm just saying. I said which part. I did read it.
Oh yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure that. But I was letting you know seriously. So if you really feel like there was never really a connection there.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I didn't think that was like a.
Oh, like I said, I didn't think that was a contention point either. But like I said, to me, that's the only thing we have not discussed.
Well, I don't think it should be a contention point.
Why wouldn't it be? That's a big deal.
Because spirituality being forced is a contention point, and we talked about. Now, I'm not saying you're forcing it, but I'm saying that when if you put it in the brevity of that conversation, it's still in a sense almost giving me like an ultimatum in a sense.
Not at all.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. If you don't mind me cutting you off. That's why the first thing I said, I'm not trying to force you. I'm not saying, in order to say, like, I'm not telling you, yo, if you want to do this, either you got to church or we're done. I'm not saying that. I just say this because we're already taking time anyway. We're already at this point. So I'm saying with this time that we have apart from each other, which was everything I've been saying has honestly been happening. And for some reason, I feel like you haven't even noticed.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that from the beginning, I said, okay, we just need, like, okay, I told you, I started with the word divorce, I said it might have been too strong. Everyone's been telling me that maybe you shouldn't jump straight to it, so I said, let's talk about separation. I said, Jaquela, I think we just both need space. We got to the point we've been agreed on that. Where I said, I said, Jaquela, yo, I'm gonna be gone for a month, basically, and then like the first month I probably can't do nothing. But after that, I even go half of everything. I do everything I can to help out. We had these discussions. Like, we talked about all this stuff, which is everything that I've been saying from the beginning that was kind of been like argument points where it's like, Jaquela, we'll figure it out. We always figure it out. We have ways of figuring things out. Jaquela, we got, like, let's just see what happens first. But then I feel like there's so much.
Yeah, because first of all.
Jaden, this is the last time you're coming to this door. Do you understand me? Do not come to this door again until I walk out this room. Okay? What's up?
Can you please tell me how to say this? I'm doing the tear part, but it's not tear.
Okay, no, this makes sense. I'm sorry. This makes sense. You can come to the door for stuff like that. But don't just come to the door. Sorry.
I was gonna say, first of all, I feel like my mom keeps being brought up, and that is something that's really starting to get to me. And I'm not sure what to do with that. with my mom being brought up. Like, she's not someone I want to use as a resource. She's not someone I want to communicate
Well,
with.
I had to reiterate that because the fact that it's somebody you probably could use as a resource.
But I do not
like,
want to.
I said
That's
Shamar.
not going to be an option.
But I asked Shamar. I told Shamar. I said right in front of you. And you heard him say yes.
But that's still, even my mom and Shamar, that's still not our car. And that's just like, it
But I also told you.
either way, this space, like, it does fuck me over. And a lot of people have acknowledged that it does.
What way?
In what ways? I'm here. You're expecting me to be here with her a full time, 12 to 12, with no way to meet her to just get in the car and go do something if we want to. Shamar's car is not my car. My mom's car is not my car.
Girl, but I said I could bring the car back on the weekends and you could use it then. And now, because you know I have to get a job.
That's still
and I
messed
work
up.
Monday,
Jay,
but
that's
I
still
have to-
messed
Girl,
up.
how's that the messed up part when you have the
Because
convenience of everything?
this is your arrangements though. This is something that you mainly
I asked
started.
you what you wanted to do, so I started figuring things out for ourselves.
And I want the car more than just a weekend. And when you're here, that's not fair to me.
Cool, when I have days off, I'll come over here too. But you can't.
But when is that? That needs to be
I
structured.
have to work. I just told you, I can't help that. I told you I have to work Monday through Friday. I said that.
Then figure something out for a couple days a week and let us have the car. Let me drop you off. We can make more arrangements, and you're not willing to budge on that, and that's not okay.
What?
That's not okay to leave us here like that without our own transportation, especially when we have one. And this was
If
your
that's the case,
arrangements that you made.
I just said if you wanted a car, I said no problem. And I said I still need this job to get the money to help somebody get into a new car. If that's what the deal is, having a new car. Fine. Matter of fact, I probably got a guy who can give me a car for cheap. Is that what you prefer? I would get you a car. That's the issue. Either way, I still got to be able to get from here to Nick.
And I'm not saying that.
I got to do everything I got to do.
And I'm not saying you don't have to do, but I'm saying, Jay, that this mainly is your creation, your idea, and your thing, your plan, your stuff that you want to do. And so what I'm saying is that because that is yours, that does not mean that you can come and take our vehicle away like that.
Jaquela, here's the thing. I'm not. Why do you make it seem like I'm just like I just took Jaquela? The whole thing was you telling me to figure everything out after I've been trying to talk about everything. So now, so now when I finally figured out, okay, I got me a place, I got this and that and the other thing.
Jay,
So then I say,
what do you mean figure it out? I'm so confused on what that is context to.
What do you
I
this
just
whole
figure it out
situ-
and I'll figure that out. I don't necessarily mean
What
like
do you mean figure this out? I meant us. I'm talking about us now.
no, I know. That's what I'm saying.
confused.
I'm talking. When I said figure it out, I'm not sure what exactly that applied to. I'm not even sure what you're talking about.
Because everything else I've been trying to.
But
when I say figure out Jaquela, I mean from the beginning. Since I've been telling you, Jaquela.
because this has been yours.
You've been making it mine. I've been trying to talk to you. Even now, I'm here. You act like I'm running off and I did
I'm not
something.
saying that.
I'm here talking
I'm
to
not
you.
saying that. But I'm still saying that this was your conversation you started. This is a lot of your ideology. This is a lot of stuff that you need. So what I'm saying is that I did not wake up and decide this. So I should not get the car taken away from me and only get it on the weekends. I'm saying, like, at least let's find an alternative. At least maybe I have a car for a week, you have a car for a week. Something that's a little bit more formidable than we only have it on the weekends. That's all I'm saying.
I told you why that would not work. I told you why that would not work. And my thing is, I get it's no one else's car, but you have assistants. You have people who are willing to help you, and it's like almost like it doesn't matter because in fact you just simply want the car. So then
That's
it does
not
come.
it.
So then it does come across to me that the car to me.
Why is it that? Why is that
it's-
you're the only person who is saying that this is okay? Like everyone else is like, and I'm not saying everyone else, but like.
Pick one of your friends. Ooh. Because if you feel like I'm out here just alone doing shit, you lost your mind. You think I'm the only one? I just told you I've been talking to everybody for the last month. You think I'm the only one that has these ideas?
Oh,
I'm
saying the only person.
I'm not here to tell you who's on my side, who's on the side.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I asked my aunt. I said, "Do you think that's okay?" She said, "No. I don't think it's okay that you don't have the car."
I could name somebody else too who said it was okay that I said what I said. I could. I don't care to. I don't matter. I don't care what your aunt.
But Jay, no. All I'm
saying
saying is like, why are you the only person, at least to me, that is saying that this is okay?
Because you're not talking to everybody else. That's why. You're only talking to your aunt and Rachel and Abby and everyone in your corner. And I'm not mad at you for it.
What are you
But I'm
talking
saying-
about?
But you can't. The only person I've heard you mention.
Who else
so
am I
far-
supposed to talk to?
But you can't, that's what. There's a lot. Of
I've
people.
talked to the shoemates.
There's a lot of people. How many times? You still talk to them now?
Yes, I've talked to the
That's really
shoemates.
good. I feel like you definitely need to talk to someone. I think that's important.
You too.
Well,
Don't
I
say it like that.
I just told you I was talking.
I know, but it's something about the.
I just told you I've been doing my thing. I've been trying to get my counsel. I'm just saying I'm glad you're talking to somebody. I think we both needed that. I've been doing my part. I'm glad you know you're doing your part.
You're leaving me here with all the responsibilities, the child full time, and no transportation. That is not okay.
Okay, what's the responsibilities to you?
Jay, you're leaving me with the place. You're leaving me with the place to pay for, and you're leaving me with a child full
We
time.
just literally just said when I got my money, I was gonna help you pay for the. You agreed to it. You just said you agreed to it. That the first month I can't do nothing. I'm sorry. But after that,
But you can at least leave the car.
No,
At least for
not.
some time.
I want to get back to my place or to my job.
That's your choice. That is
No.
your choice. You decided that you
you-
wanted separation. When I said figured out, I did not mean figured out whatever you say I'm going to be okay with. That's not what I meant. So please stop saying that I said figure it out because that's not what I meant.
So you said it, but that's not what you meant, is what you're saying?
I'm saying I know that's not what I meant.
But you said it.
Jay, regardless, that's not okay. Regardless, I don't care. It doesn't work out. Even if someone says figure it out, that doesn't mean figure it out. And okay, I would do whatever you put on the table. And
I got another question. I'm sorry. You keep saying this, and I keep. So I took Jaden. That was a problem. Now that she's here, it's a problem.
no, Jay,
What is it?
you took Jaden without any communication to me. That 4-minute conversation was not a communication.
I'm
And
done with
even
that.
after
Jay,
that,
we talked about all that stuff. I'm not worried about that part. I'm asking you now, though. Is Jaden an issue or not?
I do not want Jaden gone full time. I want you to do your part at least. Part time.
Why are you talking about
Weekends is
full-time?
not.
What are you?
And you said weekends, if that. And you said that in the same breath. They were like, okay, actually, I will maybe not be here for the first couple weeks.
I said there might be some weeks. Well, first, how would I? Well, duh. Weeks? No, I'm working during the week. But I said the first couple weeks. I said there might be some weekends I will not be here because I'm going to have to do overtime because I got to pick myself up from where I am at. Shakayla, I left you the house because we said Jaden wants to be in this apartment. So what? And I asked you, did you want to go somewhere? I asked you to leave. And I said, can you make phone calls, make arrangements for yourself, and we can do it. You said no.
This is still your plan.
But I'm coming up with solutions to every angle you have mentioned.
And I'm telling you, the solution with the car does not work.
But
it's
you've
not
never
okay.
You've never told me why.
And I'm telling you why right now it is not okay to leave us with our own vehicle and transportation. I don't care if we have a system. That's not our vehicle. That's not our vehicle. We just paid for that car. We just paid for that car. That's not okay. You can at least make arrangements for 2 days a week. Like at least
I
once
did.
every other
Saturday,
week.
Sunday.
No, during the weekday. I want to be able to get in my car and go if I want to. I want to be able to take her to the park if I want to. That's not here. I do not want...
Fair. Yo, unless it's a school year, I don't get the
I don't
issue here.
care. This is not okay.
Would you like to call the lawyer and figure it out? Do you have somebody you can call? And ask them? Do you? I'm just...
Okay, Jay.
No, because
Okay, Jay.
I always come and try
Okay,
to talk.
Jay.
But whenever I talk, I feel like it always get thrown back at me like you don't understand what I have been doing on my end of things.
And I don't
Like,
think you understand the point
No,
I'm trying to say.
fine.
Jay, I'm trying to start from the top. The main point is the fact that a lot of this is something that you set up, that you said you needed, not me. This was a lot of your conversation that got started. I don't care if I said figure it out. I don't care what. The whole conversation started May 31st when you sat down on this bed. So what I am saying is, all I'm saying is that I hate the arrangement, but whatever. There's nothing I can do about it. So it's fine. There's nothing I can do about it. Gosh, you're leaving us with 120, probably that after Scott takes out the money tomorrow. And instead you just took money out of the account when you don't even know when we have stuff due. And I thought that was very insensitive. To just take money out of the account and not say, hey, is anything due yet? Like, anything.
Okay. So if I'm taking money out without asking you, I apologize. I apologize. Damn, Jay, you know I was being paid too though, baby, after that. I did cut your phone off when, you know what? I don't know why. I told you I was done with the petty
You didn't
shit,
give me
like
a
I
chance
changed
to
your
talk.
Google account.
You didn't
know,
give me a
Jay,
chance to talk.
Why did we...
You didn't. Jay, I was just about to say something.
Go ahead.
That's why I said okay.
Go ahead.
I was getting ready to say something.
See you later.
Okay, I love you.
Love you too. See you later.
No. Fuck it.
I was waiting for her to hang up my
It don't
mom.
matter. I know what you were doing. I was gonna say there ain't no point in that shit. I'm not here for any of that stuff. I don't care to argue no more. I told you I was already done. I'm just here to ask you about what I initially came here for. and to ask, is that something that you can agree with or no? Do you think the fact that we got off what I feel, because that's how I was kind of taking it at the beginning. Obviously, I'm sorry, it was a little different for you. I'm saying, with the foundation, I said I feel like we started our relationship upon, that we got away from. Do you agree that we just took time and possibly even slowly try to start getting back to whatever, as far as you go, to whatever foundation you feel? But for me, I told you our foundation I feel. Do you feel?
I don't know. Because that's like the way you just described it is something that.
Are you willing to try?
It's something I'm willing to think about.
Are you going to try?
It's something I'm willing to think of. Jay, the way you just. I'm gonna say the way you just described it. I read the text message. I said Christian faith. I wasn't sure what that meant.
I'm telling you what I think. I'm telling you what our relationship was based upon, because that's how we were big in the church. I know I took the word serious. As you see now, I still can't even say, I'm scared to even say God's name in vain.
When you say, what do you mean you're big in the church, what does that mean? I went to church. We went to church. That's...
Yo, Jacayla, come on.
Jay, I'm trying to understand what...
You sent text messages
Jay,
every
okay,
morning.
so, Jay, and I told you I hated doing that.
I agree with all that stuff, Jacayla. I'm just saying, but look, I did not even know you hated that until recently. That's what I'm saying, Jacayla.
I told you that a long time ago, in the Harding.
We've always talked about. We've always talked about how I said it in the text, we always talk about how we don't know who each other are anymore, how things have changed, and I said, Jacayla, that's the first thing that really kind of changed. That was the big thing. I do think that was a big thing that we got away from at the very start, and I just think we were not paying attention to that. I think we got away from that, and I'm asking you, I know it feels like, this seems like kind of like some side note type shit, but like, no, this is really important.
And it's so important that I would rather give you an honest answer than just lie to you and tell you I would rather think about it.
Fair enough then. If you need to think.
But as I'm trying to talk to you, I'm trying to figure out exactly kind of like what you're meaning, because I never saw a place as like defining. I saw more of community, if anything.
Said that.
Okay, so why can't community be other things and not religious community is what I'm asking you.
What do you mean?
Like, why does it have to be a religious community?
Because that's the one we got away from. That's what I'm telling you, Jacayla. That's why I said how it all started. We were in the community.
But I also thought you said that the way our relationship even started wasn't okay. So now I guess you have to understand, well, like, this is like a little. You may have been talking about this, but this is the first time you're talking about this with me. So you have to understand that you're talking to me freshly.
No, I'm not talking to you.
I know, but it kind of seems like you're getting like a little impatient when I'm not like when you're. But it does seem like that when I say community. Like, I said that earlier. I'm like, okay, no. I'm sorry if I'm not putting all the pieces together perfectly. I'm just still trying to.
That was the only reason, because I said it earlier, and I felt like you were trying to like, Jay, why can't you? I was like, well, you gotta mention community. You thought, like, again, you named place, and I told you earlier.
Okay, but even if you did,
it's not about the places. It's not about the places. It is about community. It is about the fact that our mindsets are way different. Like I said, we had a guidebook, and then we just got away from that book, and then we kind of tried to figure out on our own, and now we're here.
What was our guide?
The Bible, yo, the word we went off of, the way we literally went at first was guiding our. Like I said, for you, I don't know what was guiding you at this point, but for me, Jacayla, and I'm talking for me specifically at this very moment, the church was something I was familiar with, something I was comfortable with, something I knew, something I still to this moment, as you know, it's not a secret that I still wholeheartedly hold to myself. I do in a lot of ways. That's why a lot of things your mom says, I don't even disagree with. And you know I don't disagree with some of the stuff your mom says. Probably a lot of the stuff your mom says.
Can we please stop talking about my
mom?
mom?
But no, I'm saying that because this is important.
I know, but I just like...
Okay, fair enough. The lady that birthed you. Is that better? All I'm saying is, through all that stuff, Jacayla, you know I've never read from that. But I felt like in a lot of our lives and stuff, like, we have, like, go away from it being like one of our.
Especially because I told you how I feel about like the physical Bible.
Which is a lot of ways, Jacayla. Again, because of that, I have gotten away, and that's all. All that even comes back to the very beginning. That's why I said I feel like a lot of myself, because I'm not trying to blame you.
And what I'm saying is that I don't have any problem even like help talking to you about it. I don't have any problem.
Okay. Talk about what?
Like, I don't have a problem even like reading the Bible with you. I'm just saying I'm not sure how I completely feel about everything.
And I'm saying, if you need to take your time to think some more, then do that. I'm telling you though, that's gonna be a big decision. And that's just the honest truth. Because that does dictate a lot of things. And when I say dictate, not in the worst way, but like that does determine a lot of ways, like the way we raise Jaden, the way we feel about certain things, the things we watch, things we do, stuff like that. And also, I'm not saying all of a sudden, like when I like if I were to go to church, all of a sudden like, oh, Taylor, we're officially all saved, and now no more porn, no more nothing. No, I'm not saying all that stuff. I'm just saying though, to a degree. Like I said, the Bible, like the church, the Christian, the community, all that stuff. It was helpful in a sense. I think people would be around, and the Bible as a whole was like a helpful guideline. Like I said, I've been going back, I've been talking to everyone. I realized how a lot of things scripturally that I don't even remember, obviously at this point, that are that just like, yeah, like a lot of things kind of relate. In the way even Matt talks to me, a lot of things do relate to like situations that we have gone through or are going through. There's things I hear that I'm like, oh my gosh, I really kind of just helped open my eyes to some things a little bit. And that's just recently. So what I'm saying is, I'm saying is.
Can I? Go ahead, I'll choose it actually.
No, I'm not. I'm trying to think about how to say this. All I'm trying to say is, for me, I kind of know where, like I said, I know where I'm at, how I feel about things. I've never wavered from it. My mind's never changed. My story's never changed. But this story has also developed where I thought, like I said, that's the only thing I feel like we've argued about. I hadn't even think about until Matt brought that up to me, and I was like, damn, that's the one thing That's the one thing. Like, it's been about everything else, and that again, that's what I feel like kind of happened in our life, where at first that was a thing for us. God, like Bible, and I say God is no longer a thing. I know, like you said, I know. What I'm saying is like, Christianity, the church, stuff like that was a big thing for us that we just got away from. And it's like, oh, maybe if we got back to it, then who knows what could be like, I don't say salvaged, that sounds weird, but like who could be redeemed, or I guess redeemed sounds like, brother, or what? Like, I just don't know, so I'm asking, like, is that, like you say, you have to think about it, so that's why I said the only question I really had was, do you think there's correlation to that? Do you honestly believe that? Okay, maybe we did go away from church so far that probably did jack us up a little bit, or do you feel like, nah, Jay, I think you kind of just fucked things up? Or do you think,
first of all, I don't think you.
Or you said,
I don't.
Or you say, Jay, I think I just fucked it. Or Jay, I think we just fucked it. Or Jay, we just have miscommunication. Or Jay, or do you really believe? Or that's what I'm just asking. Do you think us getting away from the church and everything else has anything to do with where we're at now? In all honesty,
I can see it. I can kind of see it.
You don't have to say anything because you think.
I said I can kind of see it. Like, I can kind of see the correlation.
Okay.
But it doesn't mean I know what exactly to do with it. So I guess I just don't understand, why can't I just support you guys? Like, why does it have to be? Because even if we go to a church, doesn't mean that I'm going to agree with anything or even believe in anything.
I guess we agree upon that. But that also comes back into everything else where I'm like, I'm saying, like, I'm not ever going to try to force anything on you. But it is those things, like I said, because with that being said, because, like, we obviously, like, it goes back, like I said, even in our parenting, like, that's one of the bigger topics that I really don't.
We still have to parent her regardless.
No, I get that. No, I'm saying, Jaquela.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I'm saying, for instance, I said, this is why this stuff doesn't come important. That's what I think, but you don't talk about. But let's just, for instance, like, we everybody knows the talks and stuff. Let's just say, like I said, let's say you decided, like, I'm atheist now.
What?
Let's just say you said I'm atheist now. I don't give a damn no more. Okay, well, I'm still going to church. And then let's say even as an atheist, you're like, I'll go with you. I ain't got a problem with that. But then we go, we're doing our teach, our learning, and stuff like that. You don't believe none of that stuff, whatever. Okay, cool, fine. We all still in church. We still came back home. Now, what happens when I read something and I feel like, hey, look, this is the right thing to do right here. I don't think we should do this. I think we should do this because of that. And it says right here in John 4:19, and like imagine, so imagine like I went that. I'm saying imagine I went that route, right? I'm just talking for instance. Then what happens when you say, well, actually no, I think you interpreted that wrong. I think if you did da, or it could be, and which is nothing wrong with debating stuff, of course not. Or let's say instead of you looking that up, or even like looking at that with somebody, you want to go look up something else. Like, well, it says right here da, and then like. Constantly we'll still be, and it's almost going back and forth based on how we feel about. And let's take it off parenting. I'm not sure.
I said I would do that regardless.
No, I'm saying, but just like off things in general. I'm saying just things in general.
Basically what I'm saying is that the basic way that I feel like, I guess I feel about anything that would affect us, don't we kind of agree? Like, I believe in God. I'm so confused on like what is the hard line that all of a sudden now would be a different thing in us. I guess I'm a little confused.
Because the fact matter is, because with us just believing in God, that's what I'm saying. We don't have. It's just you believe in a sense. It is
because it should be our own individual
guess,
spiritualities, and it should never be like. I don't know. I guess it almost, in a sense, almost feels like back to my mom in a sense, just a little bit about how it does feel like, even when I'm talking to her and she's telling me that I can't have a relationship with her, because I'm not believing in Christ the way she wants me to, in a sense.
I hear you saying that, and in so many ways, I actually kind of agree with the way you just analogized that. Yeah, it does sound like that, and it does kind of, and in most ways, it does kind of come across that way. But
and
at
now
the
you
same,
go against what God says,
but
God says don't do that to people. No, I'm not saying on you.
I'm not saying something. I'm saying let me finish. But what I'm saying is though, I'm not.
Can I
go ahead.
I'm sorry. When my mind runs really fast, I'm not purposely trying to interrupt you. I don't know if you noticed that. I do that a lot when I talk to people. I talk really fast. So I'm not trying to like railroad you. I'm not trying to like take over your thoughts. It's just because I'm usually thinking really fast and it kind of just comes out, especially when we're talking like this.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, what I'm saying was, but unlike your mom, where I feel like you still feel like everything's forced, I just told you I'm not forcing you to do nothing. You just told me you had to think about it. I said, well, Jaquela, you got like 2 days to think about it and make sure. I didn't say none of that
Mom
stuff.
has never said I have 2 days
But
to think about it either.
all I'm saying is, Jaquela, I'm respecting your mindset yet and still.
I'm not saying you aren't.
But I know, but I just feel like at times it feels like it could be overlooked because of the way you say things to me. So here's what I'm breaking down to you. The fact of the matter is, you're just saying, I feel like telling my mom now. It's like, yo, I'm not even doing this thing where you keep for some fucking reason comparing me to everybody else. I'm like, yo, Jaquela, I have literally done nothing that anyone else has done. So for me, I'm like, yo, where is this? Where I feel like in a sense, hold on a second. I feel like in a sense, I feel like in certain areas, I almost like.
The way you love.
I feel like in certain areas, I always feel like I'm getting attacked or something. I'm not even like intentional, and you know, I think we both know no one's intentional. Like, I don't know, some actions in your end seem kind of intentional, obviously, but I know some actions in my end probably.
Why you take money? Why you need the car, Jaquela?
Well, yeah, I asked my question first. I told you that. I asked why you need the car first.
And I've answered you a million times. I need to have my own autonomy.
Fair enough. Second of the money.
We just paid for that car.
Yo, relax. Yo, Berg, we're not even trying to get on that. That was just something. I thought it was banter going back and forth. I didn't know that I was taking that seriously. That didn't mean to get you emotional. That was just banter to me.
I didn't expect you to come in.
I know, but I always feel like I gotta prove a point to you that I'm not just trying to bounce. I'm not trying to leave. And that car really didn't have freaking insurance on it, so I couldn't take it.
How?
It did not have insurance on it.
Are you checking the right one?
Who else am I gonna check?
Jay, we have 2 different policies. One was from the other one from the other car.
What are you talking about? Oh no. What other car? The Fusion?
We have 2 different policies. On the account, the first one it shows 0, 0. The other one it shows our actual balance.
Oh, well, it don't matter. No, the Fusion one's capped. That's over with. I ain't worried about that part. I ain't worried for that. I ain't worried for that at all. No, and I came here to show, like I said, it's Friday, anyway. And just to be honest, I felt like the week, we didn't even talk. So then it made me feel like, okay, maybe the week didn't go too bad. So then I kind of want to show you that, Jaquela, maybe, because I do know we always talk about how you kind of think things so fast because things are not direct in front of you and you really can't figure out what exactly is going on, it freaks your mind out. So for me, a lot of times, so I feel like, Jaquela, you made it through the week, though. You did.
That's so insensitive.
And no, I'm just letting you know, I'm saying in a sense, no, I'm not trying to hold it against you.
It's not holding it
But
against
also,
me, but
like I
it's
said,
just...
also the fact of the matter is, like I said, I'm also trying to show you that I'm not even just trying to like, because I feel like I can't help but keep feeling this image that like, I don't know, in a sense, I'm not accusing you. So don't take this accusatory, if that's even a word. It's like, I don't know if it seems like I'm really just up and leaving every once in a while, or it seems like I'm just about, because I've stayed here. It's not like I'm not just doing it. I'm only leaving when I get to a point and I tell you, Jaquela, I feel like if we can't get this going, it's like I haven't tried to stay here. It's like I wasn't still an offer that you had put up. But I just know now, like, no, it's not something we should do right now. I'm not even saying everything should be permanent. I'm saying, Jaquela, these are steps I feel like we should take to get back to the marriage that we started with.
Okay, so I don't know why you keep saying started with.
Well, to me.
Because I don't want to be the person I was when I was 18 or 19. Like, I want to be the person I am now, but just grow from that. I don't want, like, so, like, when you say started with, like, even when I think about a started with, honestly, it kind of, like, horrifies me a little bit, because I just think about how much other Jay kind of was here sometimes, and just how, what?
Oh, go ahead.
And how, like, I was so separated from myself when it came to Jaden and stuff. So that's mainly what I think about. in a sense. Like, that for me was a lot of PTSD, postpartum type of situation, in a sense. Because I had just had Jaden. When we got married, Jaden, it correlates in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of what I'm saying. It's like, when you say, like, it kind of, like, triggers me a little bit.
You plan on having Jaden again?
It doesn't matter, Jay.
I'm asking, because no, in a serious question, yeah, I'm saying, of course I was supposed to be exactly what we were. How could we? It's impossible. I don't.
Okay, but you keep talking. But you keep talking about that, so that's why I'm talking about it.
When I say start, you know what I mean by now.
I don't know what you mean exactly.
I keep talking about the foundation thing. I just keep talking about the idea of the fact that where our mindset started. I'm not talking about what we were physically or how we treat each other, stuff like that. No.
That's what.
But no, I'm saying we also have grown since all that stuff. All I'm saying is.
Because I guess. Oh, sorry.
I'm not saying take all that stuff. Like every little bit of who we were, we gotta make sure we just go back. Jacayla, everything we've done now, we gotta get rid of everything. We just gotta start back from literally the beginning. We gotta start everything over. I'm not saying that. I think it should be obvious I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is the people who we are now. Do I feel like we kind of got off track a little bit? Sure. If you feel like, yo, this is just what I'm gonna become.
What do you mean people we are now?
Who we are now. We're not who we were when we first started dating.
We're not supposed to be. I don't think so.
That's my point.
But you're not supposed to be the same person you are when you're 18.
I agree.
So it's good.
That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
okay.
But that's why I said, I'm not trying to say take everything. Sorry about that. It's a phone call. Hello? Hey. No. I ain't doing that today. But no, I'm doing alright. Actually, I'll probably swing by there at some other point and say, hey, yo. Alright. Well, no, so I'm not even saying take every little bit of everything and just keep and like go back to it. Because obviously, we're not expect us to turn back into 18. Like I said, I don't expect us to be exactly where we're at. What I'm saying is with everything that we have now. I'm not. That's what, I feel like I'm trying to go in circles on how to say this. I'm not saying switch up personality. I'm not saying, yo, get rid of certain ideologies you have. I'm saying is though, Jacayla, I feel like, and I'm probably, obviously at this point, definitely wrong, so I'm just going to talk about me. So I said how I was, obviously with the community that I was around.
Mm-hmm. You remember now?
You know my faith,
You talking about you community around now or before?
Even before.
Okay.
Like I said, the whole thing, I've always been around, in a sense, the community. Whether that Mount Dora, North Brevard, wherever it is, always been kind of around the community. So with that being said, and also being in there so much, I was like, I took the teachings from the Bible, Matt, and everyone else to, in a sense, like most people do, they take their religion, it becomes their lifestyle, and then they learn from that on how basically to live.
Mm-hmm.
Some people don't even eat like anything but fish because they feel like in the Bible, it says only eat fish. But there's people who think like that.
Okay.
So for me, and like I said, for me, I mean, however you interpret anything is how you interpret it. No one can change that about your mind. All thing they can try to do is let you understand from their side. So this is me trying to let you understand. So for me, as we know, I take a lot of things. Also, in a sense, you say, yo, it's almost, I ain't say concrete, but it is like, I take it for what you tell me it is. Jay, I feel like you don't have my back. So for me now, like I said, for me, I know now, fuck, I don't have her back 24, no matter what fuck goes on, whether I agree or not, I got it. Because she believes on her, so I got to prove it. I'm saying, so I'm not bringing that back up. I'm just saying that's the mindset, you know, in a sense, like I said, the way I think. Where you're like, yo, Jay, I didn't mean for you to take it that deep. But for me, I do.
I mean, I also don't want you to just, like, take anything you read from the Bible and be like, okay, well, now...
But that's...
Is that what you're saying?
And that's what I'm saying. No.
Oh, okay.
So...
Okay.
What I'm saying, because I said everyone can interpret things differently. So it wouldn't even matter what I read. If I interpret it differently, I interpret it differently. Like I said, I'm not trying to say... And if I followed the Bible verbatim, that whole time, I'd probably be in any of these situations regardless. Because we wouldn't have ever had sex. We wouldn't have done this and that. So I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, though, I still had... As you know, like concrete values I held from things I've learned. for the things I were taught, the things that we spoke about through camps and all this other stuff, like through all this stuff. That's what I mean when I say break.
Yeah, and that I definitely respect. Like, especially
Yes.
like when you say certain stuff is like make you feel uncomfortable. I'm like, okay, my bad.
Yes.
Like, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable.
So, perfect. So now, okay, see, my fault. Get it. Okay, I'm really scared to play myself. So, yes. So, with that, yes, okay. Like I said, there's certain things like. Yeah, there's certain things you don't have to agree with. Obviously, that women can't lead and stuff like. Of course, there's certain. I'm sure there's obviously certain mindsets and again ideologies that it's kind of hard to get behind, and you really find it almost damn near impossible to even agree with. But I'm sorry. Right?
No, you're good. You're good. I'm trying to find a sticky note.
Yeah.
Excuse.
I agree with, and then, like I said, for that to be, I'm cool with that. I'm not trying to tell you, well, hey, take it or leave it. No, I see where there's certain things that no, I can't even get behind that. What I'm saying is there's certain things I've learned that I've actually also held fast to.
Mhm.
And a lot of things I'm just like, and I guess what this question comes from is like a lot of these things I know there have been issues for you.
I think I get what you're saying.
In a sense, I'm saying, and there's a lot of ideologies that I do follow along with, like through scripture that I feel like we probably just will never see eye to eye on. And I'm asking though, that's what I'm saying. So like, it's weird to me to ask because now it does more come across as ultimatums, and I'm not trying to say it like that. I'm not even trying
Honestly,
to
just
like
because I
that.
go with you doesn't mean that I'm even gonna still agree with anything
No, I
you're
know,
saying.
I know
So
what
long
you're
as
saying.
you're not saying that.
Yo, I'm
the
not
conversation is a lot more-
I'm not trying to tell you to
I'm
go
just talking
with
to you.
me. I know. I'm not trying to tell you to go with me. I'm saying all this is up to you.
Okay.
I just want to make sure this is something that you feel like you like. That you know what? Okay, look, if I feel like this is for us and our marriage, fine. I'll put my foot forward. And you know what? Like I said, we're both seeking counseling and help. We can do that. If we both can, like, yeah.
Why are you wrestling me?
I think I get what you're saying. And it's definitely something that I'm definitely open to thinking about. You know, I don't want to like just, I'm not going to just
I got
bullshit
you.
you and never do that to you.
Okay.
But the way you're saying it, I'm starting to understand a little bit more about what you're saying.
Okay. That's all I'm trying to get out here. And that's what I said. That's something I just know. That's something I have not brought up yet. Like I said, even that night, I was sitting trying to like almost like think of things. It was like, oh, like, like that Matt brought it to my attention. I was like, that's the one thing we have never talked about. And to this, at least not now, to this like for this situation,
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's something very solid and important. So we just need to discuss. And the truth is, like I said, it's freaking me out almost because I feel, and you're gonna take offense to this, and it freaks me out because I feel like I just want to know, like that's what I said. I'll just be real. I don't like at the end of the day. The one thing I keep saying, and I'm honestly even regret saying it so much because I don't even really believe it anymore. But one thing I've been wanting to do is really, like I said, like if I can't have anything else from all this, I want to still have my best friend by the end of all this stuff. I've always did. So that's why I said, for me, it's not like I'm trying to force anything. I'm not trying to make anything into
No,
anything.
it's just the way a lot of shit is happening. It's the fact that you said that. It's the fact that you called me a fucking social factor narcissist because I was upset about you leaving. Like,
Oh, I didn't even get a chance to.
it's the fact that, like, that's why it was like that's the only reason why like you may feel like you may lose your best friend is because that shit hurt.
Okay. Now I'm gonna ask a serious question. You never calls for addressing that day.
Regardless,
No,
I'm just saying it sticks in my head and that shit. So
Okay,
all
no,
I'm
fair
doing,
enough. Go ahead.
all I'm doing is just responding to what you're
Go ahead.
saying. Like you're like at the end of the day, I don't want to like lose my best friend, and I'm saying like it wasn't until it was like that point where it was like really like. And that's the only reason why the comment about like my mom and my dad even came about was because of that conversation. I know you said we talked, but it's that shit still like sticks in your head, like in a sense, like.
And again, I apologize for that.
And I accept it. I'm not.
taking shots at you.
I'm not even asking you to apologize again. I'm not even asking you to do that. I'm just saying that I was just responding to what you said.
So I just let you know because I mean, like in that moment, maybe I was feeling a certain way, and whatever reasons I did say what I said. I mean, if that really like if that bothered you that bad, I apologize for it. Did I feel it at that time? Probably. Did I mean it at that time? I don't remember, to be completely honest. Was I just trying to be like, was I just trying to come at you or something? I don't know, to be honest. I don't remember those moments.
You don't have to apologize for it.
I was letting you know.
I was responding to like when you said like the only thing I feel like what happens like lose my best friend, and I was like that's the only time like it really kind of like really like was like
But that's what you said, because you said that's the only time. But it's like I'm saying all this whole time. I feel like it's been every time. I feel like every time I'm like, oh, Jaquela, there's things we need to do for it, and then it's almost like it always comes to bite me. So I feel like even this conversation, I'm telling you, Jaquela, it's not like the fact I need you to do this to whatever I meant. Like I said, but like I said, at the end of the day, I don't want to force anything. If you could really honestly just call me, Jay, you know what, man, think about that shit. No, man, this shit ain't gonna work. Man. I can't do this. I'm sorry. I can at least go. Okay, no, respect it, Jaquela. I don't think this is gonna work then. And you can go, okay, cool. But like I said, I know how this shit can sound. It's easy on paper, but I'm saying it because there's no emotions on your end involved. So I'm talking from me. You're not saying these words. You're hearing these words, or you're feeling these words. That's something I would put on you, so I cannot tell you how it's gonna go. I'm telling my mind how I can imagine it going. I know it's not gonna go anything like that. I know it's impossible. I get it. That's why I always told you, I don't care about your emotions. Your emotions are not doing this stuff. Your emotions I expect, because this is something called, like, whatever we're going through, this is a thing. This shouting.
You say that, but then like a lot of the reaction throughout a lot of stuff was because of my emotions and the way I was reacting.
Now the way you were getting sporadic, I'm not gonna lie, that was like, but no, I told you it was the way that I felt like every time I had to come back and remind you.
Because but then I would tell you where it went wrong in the conversation, and there have been other conversations like, okay, I see where you got it on there.
We both have. So we've been talking. That's what I'm saying. Your emotions.
So then when you say, I'm not even talking about emotions at this point. So when you say like, then later on, I feel like we already had this conversation, and I'm like, I think we had two different conversations sometimes. Like sometimes you may feel like I was clear, but it may not have been.
Well, the fact you understood. That's what I mean.
Even if I say understood, I may not have understood exactly everything that was said. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So like I can say I understand, but it's like don't be frustrated if I don't. Maybe I didn't completely understand. That's kind of why when we sit there with Mike or whatever, and he makes us like repeat back to each other, so we know. Because I can say I understand, but then later on I'll be like, oh, I understood my interpretation of that. Then when I break it down to you, you're like, oh, okay.
Okay, so apparently it's like communication. So, I guess.
I mean, I think that's just typical.
No, that's not. No, that's. I wasn't saying that. It's a bad thing. I was saying it was more of a joke. But.
Since you can't read
if she's making every game, I'll do it. I don't know. What the hell she might have picked up in these conversations? Not gonna make bad, but. So yeah, those are the reasons. So like, no, your emotions. Like I said, the emotion part. I'm emotional. Like we can tell we both have moments. I'm not tripping off the emotion part of it. Does that weigh on me? Like to get? Was that one of the things that I mentioned? Definitely that weighed on me to get to this point. Yeah. But right now, I'm not tripping off the emotions. I figured that much. That's why I say I can never come here. I just told you now what I think could happen. That's all I said. It's only a thought. I know it's probably impossible for me to. It's impossible I'm going to end up just like that. It's impossible. But that's what I'm just trying to come up with that. I feel like in a way, like I said, I've been like just doing everything I can to make sure we both understand together. Like, yo, this is where I am at. This won't work because it won't let me get to where I feel like we need to be. But this is what I need. Like I'm saying, like I think this is what we need to at least. And now, like I said, the only thing I have never brought up is that okay, during this time where we're still gonna need space and stuff like that. Maybe, like I said, you're already doing counsel, cool. I'm doing counsel, cool. So we're there already. We got the individual part down. So as long as we just like figure that out from there, and it's slowly but sure, like I said, like if we have to come out together and talk more, we have to go see somebody else together after a while, something like that. Cool. I'm down with progressing through this whole thing. And that's why I feel like maybe it's getting lost in translation somewhere. But I've been saying this the whole time. That's what
I haven't felt that at all. So that's the difference. Maybe I. I really feel confused right now. My life.
I mean, I guess I'm trying to keep it one conversation. I know we kind of got still a little like out there a little bit, so. And like I said, this is nothing. Like I said, I'm not telling you like you got to make decisions now, and if you don't do it now, then also like think about it. Sure. What's up? I'm not knocking that. And if there's any point, also we need like mediation. I have no problem doing that either. If you would like to call somebody, see if somebody can help us out, figure it out, or like have somebody help us see how we're going to divide Jaden up, whatever situation. I'm down with all that stuff. I never like freaked on any of that stuff. I'm down with everything. Whatever makes it smoother and easier for everybody else, which I know is not easy or smooth, but whatever can at least help it like get. I'm fine with that. Like I always say, even though I just have bad communication, I always thought we were good at communication. Even like now. through all stuff that I couldn't come here. Oh, you gonna cut off my car? I could have went nuts. Or you could be like, oh, you could have went nuts. You could go out there flat tires, all type of shit. I came here busting computers up. I can do whatever I wanted to. We both could do whatever we wanted. But I feel like we at least communicate enough that we at least get here. But I just feel like it's something. I feel like it's usually like when after this part, it's like it's up in the air. I just don't know. I don't know who wakes up feeling a certain way. I don't know who, because of what happened, feels a certain way. And it's always weird for me. And then at some point, I just feel like we kind of go backwards. And I'm like, yo, how do we get back?
Well, of course, my response was because of our text messages.
Which is again why I even wrote in the thing, and I told you like what I really was, and I took it out because I like certain things were said.
I really need this charge. It's on 1%, and I don't want it to turn off. Thank you, Mom.
Stop digging your butt.
Love you, Dad.
Oh, you feel great. Wait, come here. Is that a real pocket? Yeah. There you go.
I keep my secret stuff in here.
What's your secret stuff? All right, go put it in the pocket and show me that around.
It
I
was-
was gonna put stuff in my pocket today.
Oh, okay. Then don't put it in your pocket. Okay.
Go ahead, sit down, Jada.
I know it's probably gonna do it.
It was really the like, if you need help, call your mom. She would do what she can for you. That's not, my mom is not my partner. She's not my resource. I do not want to utilize her. And so like it almost, and I feel like I kind of told you guys, so it almost kind of felt like, I don't know if you're doing it on purpose, but it felt like you were taunting me a little bit.
No, I was literally just saying like, yo, dude, I keep talking to your mom. And I know I can just say, you don't talk to her, I talk to her. She gives me one side, she gives me another side. And I'm down on stuff. Like I said, I don't like me bringing her up. I told you, I'm done talking about
But you brought her up, and that was that's why I went kind of off.
Because I feel like you really, I mean, it gets to the point like you feel like you really have like nobody.
That's not what I
like,
said.
okay.
What I'm saying is, I guess,
Shamar.
okay, let me reiterate. What I'm trying to say is, I don't, like, for me, especially in that conversation, and I still kind of feel the same way now, but I already understand that I have to deal with it, so it is what it is. But what I'm saying is that I don't care if Shamar lives here. I don't care if Rachel lives here. That's not my vehicle. It's not my car. I want my own car that I can be able to get my ass in if I want to at least be here a little bit more than just 2 days a week and only when you're here. And it just feels like it's kind of like fucking me over. But like I said, regardless, there's nothing I can do about it. Like,
And also,
it just...
when I work and get a job, Kayla, I will help you get a car.
And I'm aware of that.
Especially with your paycheck, and then who knows what I get paid. Like, I feel like we will probably make that get done relatively pretty quick.
And I'm aware of that. I'm just saying that it still just feels like I'm getting fucked over, even at least for momentarily. Like, I do. And it just kind of, like, sucks, in a sense.
Well, that's because, again, Kayla, you can leave whenever you want. No, I'm just saying.
All I'm saying is me leaving is not a cool option because this was never just my arrangement. That's all I'm saying. So regardless, any accommodation that I have to make is almost like a fuck you to me. And that's all I'm saying. I know I have to deal with it. It is what it is. I'll pay the bills and handle this month. And it gets me emotional because it also makes me realize that there's no off time for me ever now. And it's really kind of hard, and that's something that I don't know how to explain to you because I feel like, no, Jay, all I'm saying is that you're my partner, you're my spouse. I should not have to go ask Cheryl, Shamar, Rachel, Drew, Tommy, none of them. That's all I'm saying. So when you almost like refer me, it feels like a fuck you, and that's all I'm saying.
To me, it feels like I'm helping.
It feels like a fuck you because
I'm not how you feel.
I know you're gonna say it feels like a help you. It feels like a fuck you.
Okay, cool. So we agree to disagree on that. But all I'm saying is, though, for me, like I said, when I say things like this, again, like I said, even now, I could be like, you know, if I try to tell your mom, I don't know what you're gonna do. I could leave. But I'm saying, like, I will still even do that for you since I can tell it's a hard time. You feel like you need a break.
It's still your arrangement. So like you're saying, like you're like, oh, but I'm.
You know, hold on, wait, stop. I ain't even getting that time.
All I'm saying is that like. Any accommodations I have to do or any like other resources I have to bother other people for is a problem for me. I don't like it. I hate it. I hate the fact that because of a choice that you made, and regardless if it was still a choice you made, now I have to, in a sense, bear the consequences for it. And it gets to me a lot. In a sense, it's almost like you think about it, Jay. And I know you say like, oh, Jay didn't go here, Jay. That's not okay to me. Like, it's still you saying like, now I get to just go off. And I'll just be back here on the weekend.
Would you like her to come with me?
Where would she be?
With me.
Where?
With me.
Where? I can't just not know where Jada's going to be, Jay.
Which is another reason why I can't bring that up.
So then...
Wait, you're going to want the exact address and everything?
Yes!
Yeah, Can I tell you honestly why? Oh, wait, I'm trying to talk to you. I'm still talking to you. I'm not running away now. I'm asking
Why?
you. You would like to know why?
Why?
Honestly, I just don't trust it too much.
Okay.
And that's just the honest truth.
I just can't let my child go somewhere where I
I
can't.
agree with that though too though, which is why I said you
So
can keep
either
the
way,
phone
you
and
know you fucked me
No,
over.
I'm not. I still tell you ways how I can accommodate, but you're not allowing me to even help. You're telling me no.
Sending me to anybody else is
I'm not
a.
sending. Yo, Jaquela, here's the thing. Okay, hold on, if you don't mind. If you don't mind. I get what you're saying as far as calling different people, asking different people. You know what? I pretty much almost agree with that. So much so that I don't like that I'm actually having to live with somebody else. I know what you're saying. That's your choice. This was yours. Cool. But I did that so you don't have to be uncomfortable. Because like you said, you don't like calling people, so I figured, like, you know, fuck it, I'll do it. Not to mention, at the time my mom was here, I had another car, so it made it, so whenever you said anything, or Jaden's not here, I brought Jaden back. When you said, I don't have the car, I brought you the car. All this stuff. It's only now, because we don't have the car, I get it, it's a little more difficult. But even with that, Jaquela, there's not a time yet where I said, Jaquela, what's the problem? You said, well, what happens if, and I'm like, okay, cool, I'll figure it out. And then I go and figure it out, and you tell me, no, that's not it. So Jaquela, here's what I'm saying. I'm saying I still feel like, in a sense, I'm still doing my part to make sure you're not.
It's not, but it's still, it's in a sense, it's almost like null and void because it's still the matter of the fact is, this is still your arrangement. And I'm telling you, I do not want to have to keep using everyone else for a resource. But like we just said, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't.
Oh, I really just,
And like that's what really made me feel fucked. It was like not only did I not even come back and bring you the car, even tell you if I was bringing me back the car, but I also took $183 out of the bank account, which is going to leave you and Jaden with like maybe $100 to get through till the 1st.
It was 300 when I took. It was 44 when I took.
Am Scott has to take out 158. The light bill comes out. You don't know when stuff is due. You just like. So that is like it again felt like a fuck you. Like you all make a deal with what's in your account. That's just what it felt like, especially at the moment. Especially with you saying, well, why do you da-da-da? And I'm like, Jay, I'm talking about the bank account. Can we please, like, talk about the bank account? And it just felt like you were, like, playing mind games almost.
I feel like I gave you a reason to trip out. I feel like that's what you were focused on when I felt like it was no, Phil, you gave me your pain, I'm giving you mine.
I just saw it.
Situation. I know it was the whole action of it. You gotta know how that looks. So please. You gotta know how that looks.
Sorry.
Because if you were talking, you would feel the kind of way. So, I was saying, and also the only reason first off, I took out what I felt like was, in a sense, I really am happy I did take out the amount. I thought it was the bare minimum what I would need without even having to bother you ever again, basically. That's what that was for me. So when I took that out, though, you're right, I probably wasn't thinking about all that other stuff, but I also knew that, okay, I'm gonna say I knew. I'm gonna say I felt. I mean, I know we have a capital account, but I'm telling you what I felt. I felt like, okay, well, I mean, I'm sure she probably has something stored because she already told me that, and I get it was a different time, but you already told me, like, basically, okay, yo, we have this in the account, but I also have this stuff saved up here. So.
Yeah, we got short. We had to put it in.
I really don't know. I'm saying where I remember. I said I know it was way earlier. I just admitted that. I said I know it was way earlier, but that's something you had told me. So my mindset still, I'm thinking, okay, that's capital or whatever else. I don't remember all the other stuff we have. If it's all the other stuff or just a couple of things, I don't even know. But it's for me, I was like, okay, so I'm taking out this little bit. She has probably a little extra flexible income on this side over here because I know we have this thing over here and probably this thing over here. So okay, so I see there's 40.
Your count was negative last week.
So
remember when I texted you that? If we had extra, I would have just put it in there.
No, even I remember that. I looked at the account. I remember that. What happened? Oh, you had got paid.
Yeah, if I would have had anything extra, I would have used. Count would have been negative.
And even with that, like I said, even when that account was negative, even a little bit before that, after, I was never like really using the money anyway.
It doesn't matter if you weren't.
I know. I'm not saying that, Jaquela. What I'm saying is I wasn't really using it. So for me, I was like, I haven't done anything. My mom said, I haven't touched the money, I haven't done anything. Now I'm at a different point because obviously, things obviously escalated at this point again. And I'm like, okay, I'm at a position now. And I'm still trying to figure out, like, okay, what was it initially? Oh, it was like, okay, I got to figure out how, like, I'm going to do all this stuff. And at the exact same time, I'm trying to do all these things, but Jaquela trying to stop me in a sense. And I'm just telling you honestly what I'm thinking. So I know every time I use that card, it pops up saying where I am and where I use it. So I was like, you know what?
Tell me where you use it.
It does. It'll say, oh, Titus Bill Sitcom.
Yeah, you didn't tell me like the address.
But I know that. I'm not going to use it at the house. So what I'm saying is, it's stuff like that. But I think almost like everything can work. If like honestly, like I said, I think it's kind of like your mindset. Like nothing works unless I keep tabs on it. unless I know exactly what's going on. It's like, so then for me, every time I'm trying to tell you, like, Janelle, I don't think I want to tell you, you get so just, what? And then it's like, yo.
You sent $65 to your mom. Didn't even ask you about that. You sent, like, other money. It's like, I don't.
So then, exactly.
But $180 is a lot. You left us with $290. Like, are you kidding me?
There was 44 when I took it out.
What?
There was 484 when I took it out.
No, when I looked at the account, it said $298.
You get figured out that way. I only took out 180.
It was because
when I took it.
it was
$298.
$298.
Taken out even at the same time or something.
$298, and on top of that, SiteGround's about to come out.
Okay.
Like, this is $298.
After all that, but I can see where, like I said, all that stuff, as we're talking, just thinking about it, I was like, okay, all that probably seems like more tick for tat than what it was. Like I said, for me.
And even if I get like that, it's because I do typically pay everything and know when everything comes out. So just like, why is that your reaction?
Reaction to what? What?
I feel like you just kind of criticize the fact that, like, I'll ask you, okay, so why did that come out? I don't think that's an unfair question. Oh, you were like, because you're like, and you're like, why did that come out? And I didn't want to.
No, I said because of your mindset, and the fact of the matter is that I think things are not exactly the way, like I said, you can't look at it exactly and see for what it is, or like basically have your hands on it, or like in a sense, like almost like know exactly what is going on, you do freak out. That's what I said. I
don't think that's bad, depending on what it is, especially when we have stuff to pay and the other person doesn't exactly know when stuff comes out.
That came across on a whole different topic, though. That had nothing to do with the money part.
We're talking about money. We're talking about the money.
No, we're talking about why I got the money out and how I needed money to use to survive. Because I didn't want you to know where I was at. Because I feel like the only way your mind works is if you don't know exactly what the heck is, like, where I'm at. Was the same way I just said. Like,
Jay, I haven't known exactly where you're at for the past month. What are you talking about?
Facebook said differently.
How did Facebook say differently? What does Facebook tell you?
My location was off.
You can't see shit on that shit. What are you talking about? It doesn't tell you on Facebook. No, it does
and
not.
Then on top of that, the Google location map was on. I kept cutting that off as well. So there's a lot of things I know was on that you were trying to keep tab. At least, I'm sorry, I don't know anything for a fact.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Jaquela, I'm just talking to you right now.
I know, but I'm asking you to explain what you're talking about.
You know how you go on Google and look up people's location.
What are you talking about?
The Google location that you kept cutting on when I kept cutting it off? Unless I was doing it myself and I didn't know. Is that what you're telling me?
What are you talking about?
The Google location. I gotta show you?
The Google Maps?
No, not the Google Maps. I mean that too, because I cut that off. But it's like, no, the actual Google location thing.
Are you talking about Find My iPhone?
No, how? I don't have an iPhone.
You can find like Android devices
actually.
actually.
Show you?